Hello everyone, welcome back to Susie Saves. I am Susie and welcome on into this week's budget with me. I am the sole earner of me and my husband's household. It's just us two right now. He starts his job on the 31st, so very exciting, getting very close there. But he'll get paid every 2 weeks, so we do need to continue to do a single income budgeting until that paycheck comes in. I'm not going to budget anything off that first paycheck right away. I know it's going to be inflated because he gets a sign-on bonus, and so it'll really be the paycheck at the end of April that'll help us moving forward with how much money we're going to have. It's very exciting. I do still plan to do weekly budgets. It's just sometimes going to be only my paycheck and it'll sometimes be both of our paychecks. So it's going to be like $800 and then like $2,400. But I really do think that I'm someone who needs to do budgeting every time money comes in and not just when it's convenient. I feel like if I only do it twice a month when both of us are paid, that the other 2 weeks I get paid, that money could poof away. I do worry about not properly budgeting that money if I don't physically write down a budget for it. So not too much will be changing on the channel, but very exciting. I have had 3 job interviews in the past week. I'm currently contracted at a company that I've been trying to join for about 1.5 years now. And I'll tell you what, I think I aced every interview I had this week. So it'll be interesting to see what they offer me. If they offer me, right? I've had interviews before and they haven't offered me anything yet, but I do feel like I'm going to get offered 1 or maybe hopefully even 2 of the positions, and then I could choose. But that will be affecting the budget because regardless of which position I take, it'll be a pay increase. It won't be a big pay increase, but it will be a pay increase. So all that is to say, having a few changes to the channel, which will be very, very nice and less stressful. I have been the sole income earner in our house for as long as this channel's been around, so maybe 15 months or something. I think 1 year in October, so 1.5 years, something like that. Maybe 18 months. My husband is younger than I am, and so he has been in school up until last fall. So he was working part-time and going to school part-time, and he kind of came to me and was like, hey, I know this might be a lot, but if I can stay full-time these next 2 years, I that's it, I can be done in 2 years. What do you think about that? And I was basically like, yes, absolutely. And I know a lot of people maybe wouldn't have done that because it's stressful, right? So if there are days that I had to be like, I don't feel great, but I have to go to work because if I don't, we won't make enough money this week to pay for whatever. But it's actually helped me a lot grow with financing my money and knowing where it's going. And I was kind of spending willy-nilly before, but when it added some responsibility, which I felt like should have already been there. Sorry, my cat's yelling. But it wasn't. And so it really helped solidify that in my brain. It just like turned something in my brain being responsible for not only me, but my husband and our animals and our rent and all of that stuff. So in the long run, I think it was really good. And like I told him, he was kind of guilty. He was feeling guilty in the beginning. And he kept being like, you know, I'm going to go get a part-time job. I'm going to go do this or that or whatever. And I kind of had to be like, school is your part-time job right now. You're just not getting paid. And I know that sucks. But he has been toying with getting a job throughout this whole thing. That has kind of went away, which I'm glad, because it was kind of keeping him up at night, relying on me like that. And I think it was probably because some of his family or friends were like, is she actually okay with that? Like, that's really, like, that's quite the predicament you put her in or whatever. But, like, we're adults, we're married. And so it was, I don't know, it's a no-brainer for me. But yeah, and I just said, if there ever is a time in the future, not necessarily if we had kids or anything, but oh my gosh, kitten, what? If there was a time in the future where I needed to take a break off work, I would just hope that you'd remember this, and give me some grace like I've given you. And so I just know that we have each other's back, even if, something like that were to happen where I would need to take a break off work or, change jobs and maybe be out of a job for a few months or whatever, that, we can do that with each other, that we have that kind of trust. What am I doing? I'm really going into backstory here, but I don't know. The budget will be changing because he starts his new job next week. He's flying out to Seattle to the headquarters to start. We will not see that reflected in the budget until his first paycheck comes in, which I believe will be the second Thursday or Friday in April. I don't know exactly how they pay out yet, but that paycheck, that first one, will be inflated because he gets a sign-on bonus. But then at the end of April, when he gets his first, just regular paycheck, we'll be able to really know how this year is going to go for us, how much money we can save, where we're putting things. We'll know exactly what his 401k contributions can be and all that good stuff. So really, really excited for all of that good stuff. All right, are you gonna be quiet now? Without further ado then, let's hop back into the single income budget that we've been on. So it is May 21st. I only worked 4 days last week. Ooh, Sophia, what? I need you to be good, babe. I know, it'll be okay. So I only worked 4 days last week, so I made $717. Not bad. I do understand that my paycheck is more than most people's. I think. I don't know what the median is anymore. I make like a little over 25 an hour. I'm a scientist. I'm a chemist, if you want to be more specific. So let's go ahead and go down to our expenses. We have rent. Our rent is $800 a month, so we put $200 a week aside for that. We rent out the bottom mother-in-law suite of his grandparents' house. This way, they're kind of older, and we can go help them when they need. My husband does a lot of the lawn work and stuff because they have quite a lot of property. So we're able to help them out and make sure that if they need anything, that young able bodies are here to help. We pay for internet. And that, we're going to put $23 there. It's $91 a month, so $23 a week will make sure that we're able to pay that. I have a gym membership. My husband might get one when he starts working. We'll have to see how much free time he has. That is $4 a week. I think it's technically $18 a month, but we just cash flow that. Oh, actually, it's a $5 a week as well. So let's go ahead and, pardon me. So those are all our non-variable expenses. Next, we're going to do our variable expenses. So these are things like groceries. We set ourselves a budget for $60. It's just me and my husband, just the two of us. And this is a weekly paycheck, as a reminder. So $60 has been fine. We've actually been able to do a lot of rollover with $60, so that's really good. Gas gets $50. Very soon, I'm going to be kicking this up to $100 just to make sure that both me and my husband have money to get to and from work. But right now, I'm the only one that has to leave every day, so it's just my gas. Next is miscellaneous. This is for anything else that comes up during the week. It is $30. This is also if we wanted to, I mean, it's for anything. So if we wanted to get dinner out, as long as it's under $30, right? We can go and get dinner out somewhere, or if anything. For instance, it was really nice this past week, and so we actually went out and we got flea medicine for the cats so that they weren't itchy because it's getting hot outside. Or pots and soil for my gardening stuff. So anything like that that wasn't thought of, that you might want to spend just a little bit of money on. It's kind of free, quote unquote free money. Like, I don't give myself, this has kind of been brought up in the comments a few times, but I don't give myself money to spend, like an allowance out of my paycheck. Part of that is because I just don't make a lot for our household. So a lot of the money is directed towards where it needs to go, right? Rent and utilities, and we don't have utilities, but rent, internet, my savings accounts, stuff like that. I don't give myself money to spend. I would like to change that. We just currently don't have the funds for it. So probably when my husband starts his job, I will start putting aside fun money for both me and him, that he has asked to be like, not tied to anything, and he can spend it on whatever he wants, and I can't be like, why'd you buy that? Because it's not my money. It's just his. And the same with me, right? So I could give myself like $100 and spend it on whatever dumb thing I want, and he can't say nothing. We haven't decided an amount for that. If you give yourself fun money, I would love to know what your amount is, or percent of your paycheck if you're not comfortable with an amount, because I just really don't know. I don't give it to myself, so I have no idea what a normal money number would be for that. Obviously, a 10% would be like like 70 or $80, which I think is pretty good, but I don't know. Is that too much? I don't know. Okay, anyway, after miscellaneous is charity. I want to buy the Crash Course coin. That is a big driving factor for my expenses this year. I really want to buy the $500 one. So I've been putting $50 aside every week, and if I do that for a few months, then I'll have the 500 I need. I do know that they sell out really quickly, which obviously is a good problem to have because it all goes to charity. So we'll have to see if the time comes. Hopefully I can get one, but I don't know. It's still kind of up in the air as of right now. Okay, so with our expenses, we have $223.5 for gym, $60 for groceries, $50 for gas, $30 miscellaneous, and another $50 for charity. This comes up to $418. We're going to skip savings for now and move to our sinking funds. We have a few different sinking funds. For me, I use sinking funds for random expenses as well as planned but later expenses. So for instance, we have a car maintenance fund because sometime the car is going to need maintenance, whether that's oil or, heaven forbid, like something happens and you need money for a car, like a big repair. So I always put money into that fund. We also have things like car insurance. Ours is removed once a year. I only pay for mine. His family still deals with his as well as his phone bill. I pay mine, but his family still has him on their plan. I'm still on my family's plan. I just pay it. And so I know there's a big bill at the end of the year. And so instead of trying to rack together like $700 at the end of the year, I put $13 in per week. And that'll get me up to, I think, $650. And that tends to be where these two hover around. So you can either use sinking funds in a revolving cash kind of way or in a saving up for something kind of way. Or any way you want to. I don't know. I'm not an expert. Next, we have pets. This is not only for the vet bill at the beginning of the year, but also for flea medicine or cat food. We have lizards, so sometimes we need crickets or lights to keep them warm, stuff like that. That gets $10 a week. Sorry about the cat. We also have gifts. We have a gift fund. This is for Christmas, but it's also for birthdays or some other events. So My brother is having a baby shower, and so we'll have to spend some of the gift money to buy them something for that. As well as saving some money up for Christmas, just so that we don't have to save all that money in December, because it's a busy time, and you can spend a lot more than you're planning to if you don't have a set amount set aside already. And then last but not least, we have a health sinking fund. I was kicked off of my mother's insurance for a few months last year. I don't know what happened. I don't know why. But I suddenly had to pay for all my upcoming appointments and medicine alone. And so I started a health sinking fund to pay for my prescriptions because they were so expensive. But it now is being used for fitness stuff, because I'm a fitness girl, if you didn't know. So if we need protein powder or anything related to that, I also use it for over-the-counter medicines. So if we need more Tylenol in the cabinet, or Midol, or any kind of thing like that, that would also go in here. I'm also thinking about using this for hygiene products. So toothpaste or shampoo, conditioner, stuff like that, but I haven't decided exactly what the health folder all encompasses. In the actual binder, it's health and beauty, but I don't spend money on beauty. I don't wear makeup, or I don't do any filler or anything like that, so I don't need money for that. So it's definitely more of just a health and hygiene folder. That is our sinking funds. And then savings. We are really trying to get our savings rate up this year. I would love to have a savings rate of 25%. Last year, let me see if I can find it. Last year, our saving rate was 20%. I actually think our saving rate is going to be really, really high this year because my husband's new income. But I don't know what is practical and what is like nice thinking. So I think with my husband's income, we can have a savings rate of like 60%. But the bare minimum that I would love to save is 25%. And we're also putting that money towards a house fund, which is savings, but also isn't savings because you are going to spend it. Like, it's not retirement. It's not going to be in there a long time. So I'm still debating what all counts as savings. But for right now, we have our buffer. Every week I put into my Roth IRA. Sorry, that is an R, not a P. I put into a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. And I put some into a cash management, or cash money, whatever it's called, money management account into the stock market. The stock market gets my 3% bonus that I keep saying that, 3% raise that I got in October. Technically 3%, oops. Really? It's that low? That's crazy. What about my full paycheck? Wow, I'm saving more than I should be. I've rounded it up to 30, so that gets $30. Though it looks like I should go back through and round that down to like $20, since I think I calculated it before tax and not after tax, which that'll do it. My Roth IRA gets $135 every week. This is to reach that $7,000 by the end of the year. And then the 3 to 6 month fund gets any money left over after that. It is a low paycheck week, so unfortunately we are only going to put $65 in towards the emergency fund. I'm aware that a lot of, I guess, experts, financial people on YouTube would kind of scoff at this, and would really rather I put money into the emergency fund before anything else. But I do know that my husband's getting that bonus, and that bonus will be going towards our emergency fund, and it will fill it up just fine. I'm just putting some money in now because I have the leftover money. But yeah, as soon as this gets filled, this money will go towards the Roth until it's full, and then we'll start looking at housing fund and where exactly we're going to put the money for that. We have no debt, so we do not need to worry about debt. I'm very, very happy about that fact. So this week I made $717. We will spend $418 on our expenses, $66 on our sinking funds, $0 on debt. So we have $233 to spend on our savings. This will give us a zero-based budget, which just means every dollar I make, I have put somewhere. It doesn't mean our account will be at zero at the end. It just means all the money that's come in, I know exactly where it's supposed to go. So 135 of it is going towards the Roth, 65 is going towards the emergency fund, 30 is going towards our stocks, which give us $3 to stay in our checking account as a buffer. I do think I want a buffer in the checking account. I had said at least $100, but I do think I want it to be more than that. Maybe 500. I don't really want the debit card to beat emergency fund and have like $1,000 in there. Because if something does happen where that gets stolen, it's a lot harder to dispute, I think, debit card fraud than credit card fraud, but I don't know. But yeah, I wouldn't want to keep too much money on that card specifically, because we use it a lot on online transactions and stuff. Actually, we do a lot through PayPal because it's nice to have a third party in the middle there, but I digress. Here is our lovely budget for this week. If you'd like to see me cash out this stuff, I'm a cash budgeter, so the variable expenses as well as the sinking funds I take out in cash and put them into our neat little binders, into all of the little envelopes. So if you are interested in seeing that go through, you can watch that video on Sunday. Or if you're interested in where exactly I put the stock and Roth IRA money into, you can watch those videos on Tuesday. I'm not a financial expert. This is simply for accountability, and hopefully you can come with me on the journey and help your own finances along the way. Thank you everyone so much for being here today. I hope you are having a fantastic Friday. I hope it's a great weekend for you. I think we're gonna go out and just have a good weekend. We're gonna have a party for a friend's birthday on Saturday, so that'll be fun. So have a good weekend, and I will see you on Sunday for the cash stuffing. Have a good day, everyone.